How many of you have this vision of yourself in the future, wildly successful and happier than you've ever been? How many of you really have a dream? What is it? What is your dream? Probably something really unrealistic. Something to you that seems impossible. Seems like it'll only happen if you win the lottery. If you get lucky. Well, no one needs to raise their hand to say that they have a dream, that they have this unrealistic expectation of themselves in the future. I know you do. I do too. And in today's world, with how much criticism there is and comparison, it is hard for us to really believe in ourselves and believe that we'll be able to accomplish these dreams. We wonder if we'll ever really make it. And it makes us discouraged. It makes us think, especially as college students, I guess that's it. I'm never going to really live that dream. It'll just stay a dream. I'll just keep sleeping, imagining it while I'm in bed. Well, over the past 2 to 3 weeks, I've been studying, trying to figure out exactly how it is that we can live our dreams. If there's an actual recipe, specific way, a formula that we can accomplish this, that we can live our dreams. While researching, I came along a speech by a very amazing man who gave this speech a couple years ago. It's called I Believe. This man is none other than Arnold Schwarzenegger. Now, the fact that you already know who he is just by me saying his name, showing a couple of pictures, proves that he's successful. He lived his dreams. He's a happy man. And as we know, he was a world champion bodybuilder. He's a superstar in movies and films, and also ended up becoming a political figure, someone important. So today, my goal is to focus on how it is that we can live our dreams by talking through some of the points that Arnold Schwarzenegger made in his speech on how he was able to become successful and live his dream. So let's go ahead and get started on Arnold's story. Arnold flew here to the U.S. around late 1960s and lived here the rest of his life. And from the 1970s to the 1980s, Arnold Schwarzenegger became the world's best bodybuilder. He worked really hard and accomplished that part of his dream. In reality, though, Arnold Schwarzenegger knew that he wanted something more, that he wanted to become something more, so he wanted to become an actor. He started going to acting agencies and telling them, getting involved. They already knew who he was. He's a famous guy. But they still ended up telling him, there's not a chance. They ended up looking him in the eyes and saying, sorry, sir, but it's not going to work out. Left him discouraged, upset. But now I want to talk about some of the points and some of the ways that he pushed past these barriers. What was his mentality? What took him right hurdling over these barriers straight into becoming a superstar actor? First one is if I worked 5 to 6 hours a day on bodybuilding, I knew I had to work 5 to 6 hours a day on acting. Luckily, Arnold already had this natural discipline and action and hard work. He knew he had to bring it to the table when in his acting career as well. So we know now as well, if we want to accomplish our dreams and our goals, we have to work hard. We have to be willing to put in the same dedication into our dream as we would put into our jobs, into our schoolwork. We have to be willing to do it all. We have to be disciplined and dedicated. A lot of people do not correlate smiling with discipline and dedication, hard work. But with Arnold, that was all he had. He was known for always smiling. He was known in the gym as the guy lifting and smiling, even though he was there for 5 to 6 hours and was destroying his muscles. He always smiled. He knew what he was doing and he loved it. And he knew that every rep led one step closer to his dream. So he worked hard with joy. Now you might be asking, well, why is it that we need joy? Why do I need to be always smiling? Well, in reality, it's because one day you're going to hit weaknesses. You're going to have weaknesses. You're going to feel weak. And as I said earlier, the acting agency said these were his 2 biggest weaknesses, his accent and his strength. Well, turns out, in his first movie he ever did, they said that if he didn't have the body he had, they would have had to build one. Then in the next movie series he did in Terminator, they said if he didn't have such a robotic accent, the movie would not have worked. They would have not made it. It wouldn't have worked. So Arnold showed us that your weaknesses can also then become your strengths. They can become something more than just a weakness. They don't have to defy you. So, how is it that we can live our dreams? How is it that we can be successful in this imaginary future that we think is so far from reach? Well, we need to work hard, be dedicated. If we want to live our dream, we have to always be happy, always be smiling. If we want to live our dream, we need to make our weaknesses into strengths. In reality, the truth is, if we want to live our dream, we just have to believe. Thank you.